Hello, fellow Megatennis, and welcome to another episode of Hello, fellow Megatennis. I'm LaRue, and with me is Neb.
Hello.
Glib.
Hello.
And Spider.
Hello. Hello.
What a spirited introduction.
And today is a good episode because we have a lot of news. Tokyo Game Show is done-ish. Today, if this goes out tomorrow, then it's the anniversary of Persona 5's release in Japan. So that's kind of cool, I guess. And that's good because we're going to talk about Persona a lot.
It's the only good game left. If you're listening to this waiting for news about SMT5, please leave.
Or
Please
anything
go
else.
home. Well, yeah, too.
And there's a lot of just P5 stuff, so we can break down various elements. I want to start off with the Royal trailers. First off, I just got to preface it with I haven't watched any of them, so what do you guys think about these trailers?
They contain way too many spoilers. I feel like I've already played the new semester because there's so much out.
I really only ever watched the one, I don't even know if it was a trailer, but where they did the new intro and people were like complaining about it.
That's
not meshing. Yeah. That's really the only thing I've watched about it. It has been sort of too much stuff all at once where I just don't care. I just want to try the game, see what's new, what's updated. I don't need to see everything broken out piecemeal displayed in front of me.
If you don't want spoilers, please do not watch the trailers, especially if you've already played Persona 5. You will get spoiled.
Yeah. I feel like so I know that there's like 5 Morgana things. I watched the first one and I was like, I don't know if I could do this anymore. Mostly because they're presented in a very Persona 5 way, which I guess if you're super into it, it's like cool. But for me, it was really annoying. It's just like what they did with the Persona 4G stuff. I don't know if you guys remember when Teddy would do the dumb introduction and then, And like Morgana is basically just Teddy. So I feel the same way about that.
And Morgana is creepy Teddy.
Yeah, I sort of a more visceral dislike of him, of Teddy. Something,
really?
Yeah, it's something sort of like nefarious about him. That's I don't know.
So let's do
because he looks like a clown.
Yeah, it might be that. It might be a little bit of the clown. Like the pun stuff. People who like puns are very suspicious to me. Like,
wow,
it's like they're aliens that are like trying to live amongst us. And like, this is funny, right? It's like, I don't know, man. What's your deal?
I think it's very funny.
Okay. I gotta kill you. It's barely funny at all.
Oh,
all right, that's fine. But
fellow Mega Tennis,
we got to make a power ranking really quick then of Hoshino mascots. It's what Koromaru / Aegis.
Wait,
the bear
she's
and
part of that? What?
I always thought she was the mascot, but I guess it's Koromaru.
I mean, I guess thinking on it, she is, because he's only ever used in promotional stuff for like PQ2, right? Because he had a little doll.
Yeah.
Which I own. It's very, very cute.
I consider both of them, honestly.
I guess that
they're
makes
kind of
sense.
used depending on whichever design works best for whatever product.
So then, which is
but the dog is awesome. So yeah, dog is number 1. Certainly.
All right. But then, who's on the bottom? Is it Teddy or is it Morgana?
He's probably Teddy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trust my children around him. I'm sorry.
Morgana is creepy, but I like his design, so I'm going to go with Teddy too.
Yeah. At least Morgana preys upon like sort of young adults, not necessarily children, like Teddy probably does, allegedly.
Well, I mean, Morgana preys on that one victim of like assault or whatever, right?
I'm sorry, what?
I
missed this DLC.
Wait, wasn't on like harassed or whatever by I forget the story.
Right. Yeah. You're right. Yeah, he hits on a lot who is sexually harassed somewhat, but not as much as the other girl. We're not getting
but I think that Teddy's pretty cool sometimes. But you're right when you're saying that he's kind of like annoying and creepy and weird. I guess you could say
I
as
didn't
a
say
bear.
most of that, but I do agree with that statement. Yeah. I will pretend that I said most of that instead of just one of those things.
All right. I'm just saying that I guess as a bear, he's bipolar.
I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you and then myself. Really upsetting.
I think I'm going to like the Fantasy mascot too, the dog. It's kind of like this scruffy looking, mangy looking
hound dog.
Yeah.
Sort of? Okay. That's cool.
Yeah, he looks cool. I think that'll be the number one Hoshino mascot. Well, actually, I kind of like the ram in Catherine, the sheep, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay, never mind. The sheep.
That is a good one, right?
I like that one. I love that design. I like the sheepmen, too. They look creepy and cool.
Sheep have square eyes, which freaks me out.
Yes.
But I still like the sheep.
It's got that creepy, cute vibe.
Yeah, a very good creepy, cute juxtaposition. In saying all this random stuff about the mascots, we are getting...
Yeah, Persona 5, remember?
Yeah, we are getting Morgana on controllers and stuff because we're getting a Persona 5 PlayStation Pro as well as Persona 5 PlayStation Pro or PlayStation Slim covers and DS4 controllers.
Right. So these are decals? These aren't like standalone products, right? These are just decals you can put on.
So the Pro is like it's got its own like custom art, and I think it's like lasered on or whatever. The Slims, I guess they try to do a thing similar to the new 3DS where you can slide out the cover art and change it, and that's kind of what they were doing. So for instance, mine default art was this gross Super Mario stuff, so I bought a Jibanyan official cover thing and I changed it. The Slims have a similar concept where you can take off the cover and put a different thing. So you could either buy the Slim pack that already comes with it put on for you, or you can buy just the cover itself, which will save you a lot of money if you don't want to buy a whole new console just for
right
that. And then there's the super ugly controllers, which is cool because the color scheme for Persona 5 is predominantly red, and I love how these special editions don't have any red at all.
The Morgana one isn't too bad. It's just a shame I don't like Morgana.
Yeah,
I guess that's why I'm saying it's bad, is because Morgana.
I think he's got a good silhouette, but yeah, I couldn't possibly care about him, really. It's very annoying.
But one of the cool things about getting these collector's edition stuff is if you get any of it, if you buy any of it through Sony, then you get these 5 postcards, which I guess are custom art. Not sure who did most of it or any of it, to be honest. But it looks cool, I guess.
One of the consoles had the art from the art show, the exclusive poster. Didn't it?
Oh. See, I wouldn't. Yeah, I guess I wasn't really paying attention.
Oh, I saw a part of it on the stream. I wasn't sure though because they only showed it. They like zoomed by it, and I was like, oh. You're
right. Yeah, the black art is that one print that they had like 250 of, which is cool, and that one is actually for guaranteed Tsujima. The other one has like the Morgana silhouette stuff, which is it's Morgana. And then the other one is the protagonist looking sideways or whatever. All in all, I when I ran the numbers, I think it only cost like $570 or like around that if you're going to get everything. And that's if you're getting the Pro with the covers and then an extra controller, because one controller comes bundled with it. So it's not a bad investment.
That is a big ask.
Yeah. I mean, also, we don't know if it's coming to America, or, I mean, I know for sure it's probably not because it makes no sense for it to do that. But luckily, it's not region locked, or it's not region. Yeah, it's not. So then you can do whatever. You can play. And I don't know if it has a custom theme, but we'll see. And that's kind of cool, I guess, for it to come. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, but they have a order limit until what is it, December 17th or something like that,
Oh
or
wow.
25th? Yeah, that's the last time you can order these.
Okay, so then does that mean that they're like made to order, or they're making
I
a
want
limited quantity?
I think they're probably made to order. I don't know. They didn't say.
I smell a money making opportunity.
Uh-oh.
No one's gonna buy those secondhand. Come on.
No.
No, those are probably going to be pretty popular.
I've been able to make money off of Persona 5 fans.
Although since we're talking about this, we're probably not anymore.
I'll still do it. Speaking of Persona 5, its UI is quite nice. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, some people have called it over-designed, which is incorrect.
Yeah, they're wrong.
Because it does not interfere with the actual gameplay itself. If it did, it would be over-designed. Instead, it enhances it and makes it much more interesting because it's very fun to use.
Yeah.
Which is very unusual for UI. You never think of a UI as like, damn, this is cool. You're just like, I just want to get to my potions. Please stop fucking around. That's usually what you're thinking. But Persona 5 changes the game.
And sorry, yeah.
I was going to say, I like the new UIs as well for Royal. They look really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the new intro, and what was that that new NPC's name from the Mementos? I got his name wrong before.
Jose,
yeah. His is especially nice.
I can't live in a world where there's a Japanese game with a guy named Jose who looks like an egg.
A mini Eggman.
Very like, unusual character.
Yeah, he's the weirdest thing about Persona 5 Royale to me, and I don't know why no one is making a big deal about this egg. Like
Eggman Pinocchio is what it looks like to me.
Oh no. That's all I'm gonna see now. But you're right, the new AI is quite nice too. So nice, in fact, that it won an award.
Hooray.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say the name. Wait.
CEDEC?
Yeah, CEDEC awarded Masayoshi Suto the award for visual art excellence with UI design. And that's cool, I guess.
For 2019? For the 2019?
Yeah,
that's
for 2019.
Weird. No one else is doing anything really. They were just like, yeah, this is your year.
Yeah, I mean, who's they going to give it to?
Why did they give it to him 2 years ago?
Because Persona 5 Royale, I don't know, maybe. It's cool, though. It's cool because I think that, for me, one of the standout things about Persona 5 is the UI being competently designed. So for that to get recognition makes the most sense to me out of anything else regarding the game, though it has won awards for the music and for something else. And
I would give it awards for pretty much everything. Yeah, for an RPG, I mean, it's hard to beat.
for being a better than normal RPG, that's the award it gets.
I mean, there's a lot of really bad ones.
Speaking of bad RPGs, Yakuza 7
hey.
is going to...
Damn.
Glib, it's your time to shine.
Damn.
Glib wanted to say some things about Yakuza 7, and although
everyone's favorite Mega 10 series, spin-off franchise, some might say.
Yeah, although Yakuza is bad, we will let Glib talk about it.
See, now we don't have a discussion topic. You just didn't even segue it. Just brought it out.
There's plenty to talk about with Yakuza.
Yo.
Yeah, so Yakuza 7 is like...
Can we fire
a lot of
LaRue?
attention. Okay, here, I'll segue it nicely. Yakuza 7's trailer, which initially was thought to be somewhat of a hoax or what was it, an April Fool's Day joke, turned out to be very much real, and it's drawn a lot of attention, both positive and negative, to the point where even Japanese fans are referring to this game as forgot what the Japanese name for Yakuza is. Something
like a dragon.
Yeah, instead of like a dragon, they're calling it like a persona. And I think that's really funny. And Glib's going to talk about it because I don't play Yakuza. Besides Yakuza 0, I'm almost like 2 hours in. So
that game rules, dude.
It's game of the year. It's not even out yet. Game of the year.
Is that your cutting insight?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay,
So how do you-
I'll
how-
talk about it then.
Yeah, how do you guys feel about it being different from the open world, whatever, and now it looks like it's more of a classical RPG with Dragon Quest and Persona elements?
I think it's still open world. They were talking about it in the. I saw the Famitsu summary from Ryota or whatever his name is.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently you can still walk around, and you won't have barriers sectioning you off from sections, so you can go into an area with a really high level person or whatever and get completely destroyed.
Sounds like Fallout New Vegas.
Nice.
Yeah,
Also a good game.
and I also thought that the new mechanic where you're kind of like on a grid, sort of. You don't actually see the grid when you're in the battle. And if you like get hit and you get knocked over, you might like get pushed back some. It kind of reminded me of back in Persona 2, where the characters to get pushed around the map when you're fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the only battle mechanics that existed.
And it really didn't do anything.
Second one, the first being use fusion spells.
Yeah, use fusion spells.
Did you cast a fusion spell? If not, go back to the beginning. Cast a fusion spell.
I mean, that's cool that they're not going to block off areas, because then it'll make it so then that I guess maybe someone who's either brave or smart enough can possibly push their way through. So I guess that would be a benefit to speedrunners or something. So I did that with Dark Souls 3 with the I forgot her name, the dancer. You just kill the chick and then you kill the dancer like super early on, and it's people say it's hard, but it's not. And that was fun. I like that. I like the idea of not being pushed through a corridor. I think the worst game that did that for me was like Final Fantasy 12, which is really annoying. But I'm glad that
it's like a Final Fantasy game then.
Yeah,
Just
so
annoys
it's
you the
cool.
whole time.
It's cool that Yakuza is not drawing inspiration from the bad RPG series.
Right.
Wow.
The best one.
Another interesting bit was what was? Oh no, my mind is going.
It's okay.
There's something else that I liked about.
But Yakuza specifically?
Yeah, about Yakuza. Shoot. I wish I had the interview up with me, but I don't have it up.
I mean, the whole battle system seems very interesting. When I first heard them talk about it, I was thinking sort of like Final Fantasy 15, because you know how you can like sort of tell your guys to do things. Anyone else play that game besides me? I think I'm the only person
I
in the world.
played it, but I don't remember.
It was pretty bad.
I played it and I hate it.
Yeah, it was a bad game. But yeah, you could sort of generally sort of give commands to other people. But this seems like a much more interesting in-depth way of doing it. Assuming that there's like a variety of attacks that you can tell people to do. Because if you're just telling people to do the same move every time, that sounds kind of lame. So let's see how they do it.
I think they mentioned earlier that they were drawing inspiration from Dragon Quest for mechanics or something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I'm not like overly worried, because Dragon Quest is good usually. I kind of was hoping that when we talked about this topic, Glib would say something, but I guess Glib, what do you think?
I mean, what does it say? You're just saying the interview stuff. It's like I don't got nothing else to say about that. It looks cool, man. Like
the best part is that they say the story is going to be twice as long.
As long as what?
I don't know.
What, 0 or something? Because 0 was long, I thought.
Yeah, there's apparently it's just. I guess they're saying it's going to have a lot more content.
Okay.
I'm hyped because 0 was some stuff. I was ooh.
Yeah, that's the only one I'm gonna start Kiwami 1 soon because I only play on PC. I'm not gonna play on a console.
Yeah, only play it on PC. Do not do anything else.
Yeah,
I keep hearing from Yakuza fans that you should play the original 1 and 2 and not Kiwami because they changed some stuff.
Never,
the atmosphere.
Absolutely, never doing that. Sorry, kids. If you want to fund whatever resources I need to do that, go for it. But if not, go home. Don't ever say that to my face. But yeah, Yakuza 0 is one of my favorite single player experiences from recent memory. Certainly,
Yeah, fast.
Nice.
Very, very good.
You should try this other game. It's called Shinmue.
What is that? It's like rip off GTA.
Yeah, it's Shinmue.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like prototype Yakuza.
Yeah, it's whatever.
I mean, Shinmue reminds me of Yakuza, and I don't really know if they're related at all. But just the part where there's a bunch of, yeah, okay, just the parts that have like random like subquests and whatever. Like there's like this weird racing thing you do in Shinmue that I used to play because it was fun. And that's the end of that story.
Racing Yakuza 7.
The merch store at Tokyo Game Show. Oh.
Uh-huh.
The merch store at Tokyo Game Show had forklifts for Shenmue.
That's pretty cool.
Just forklifts. That's it.
That is my favorite part about Shenmue is the forklifts. I don't even know what that's in reference to, actually. It's crazy.
One of the jobs you can take in the game.
It's like a realistic depiction of life where you set out on a quest to actually do something important that might change things, but really you just end up working a dead-end manual labor job for the rest of your life.
Was Shinmue or Yakuza the one where you could take jobs as a realtor?
Yakuza has the real estate.
Okay, that was one of the fun jobs. Speaking of Yakuza, Tokyo Mirage Sessions is coming out in January.
The sequel to Yakuza 7 is Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
The news is organized badly. I'm so sorry.
Hey, did you have a Wii U? If so, what the fuck is wrong with you? But you probably played TMS, Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
Yeah, Tokyo Mirage Sessions is a great game. Some people might say it's the best Shin Megami Tensei so far, and
which is stated by the 8 people that owned a Wii U in the entire world.
Have you guys noticed the weird like discrepancy? Like, if you look back to when Tokyo Mirage Sessions was originally announced, people were super mad, and now with Tokyo Mirage,
I know what you're getting at. Yeah. Absolutely.
Suddenly everyone's like, it's a bad story, but the gameplay is so great, and it's really weird because while I would agree to that, and also don't like the music, but the music is well done. Because they had like real J-pop people make it, which doesn't really mean anything, I guess. But it's interesting how that's kind of become the normal kind of thing that people repeat now.
LaRue, you know the answer to this, bro. We heard someone say they repeated it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that's a funny thing that had to happen. So now when Tokyo Mirage Sessions port got announced, you saw both those things clash, and it was beautiful. Because if you looked at like Twitter or the subreddit, you'll see people saying, "Oh, it's actually pretty good," and then you'll see people going, it's not the Mirage Sessions guy I wanted," you know. So it's funny. Yeah. It was like a cool thing where these two rival fan bases ran at each other, and then everyone died, and that's Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
I'm still salty that it's idols. After all these years, I'm still. But
hey,
I'm happy they did something new. It's just
I'm happy that the port will make you able to skip the sessions. When you said that, like posted that link or whatever, I was just like, oh my god, this is the best update to the game because that was annoying. It's cool the first one, like the first time, that's it. After that, you're just like, God, I have to do this every single time.
Can you explain for the folks at home what you're referring to exactly?
So during the battle, it's essentially a co-op system similar to Strange Journey with a little bit of like DDS, I guess. Mm-hmm. And because you can co-op, that will trigger this thing called sessions, which are these long animated sequences where you and a different character will like collaborate. And it's annoying because it's long and you can't skip it. And it happens almost every fight because it's the most efficient way to finish fights.
Right.
So you just keep doing it over and over. Think back to like Final Fantasy VII when you summon Odin or some other big summon, and you just have to watch it every single time. And
I didn't.
Well, I'm glad you didn't play Final Fantasy VII. You're probably better off. But it's like that. It's like that weird archaic thing that for some reason it existed in the original, and they took it out for this version. I think that
you say unskippable. That's really weird. I mean, so in like. What you're sounding like it's saying, did you play Golden, Persona 4 Golden?
Yeah, I did.
And like even in PQ and PQ2, I feel like also they had a similar concept, right? Like sort of a follow-up thing, co-op follow-up thing, but those were always skippable to my knowledge.
I think it's I don't know, maybe it's a fault on their like
that's so weird because that's the newest game of all the ones I just referenced, I think. I guess PQ2 is newer.
It does have cool animations. It's not like generic like those games that you were talking about. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm kind of hyped for this game.
Not skippable?
It wasn't, but now it is. So you can actually have fun. And it'll drastically shorten the time that it takes to beat the game too. I don't know how much new content it's going to have besides like one confirmed song, I think.
Mm-hmm.
They're adding 3 more session characters. I don't think they're playable though, but I think they just add on to the session. So it's Tiki, the kid, and Barry.
Oh, Barry?
Yeah.
Okay, he's like a fan favorite.
Yeah.
Barry.
I like how the new cover has all of them except for Barry.
Which is dumb because I think he's popular both in the West and in Japan. Because Barry is essentially like a heavy metal star that moved to Japan and became a weeb. And he went from being a super handsome rock star to being a chubby guy who fell in love with this like, what is it called? Magical Girl anime. And he had like literally his shirt is that character. And it's so funny.
Is this a parody off that metal band, like Metal Baby or something that does the metal songs?
Baby Metal, yeah.
Yeah. But then the name, I forgot what he's specifically a parody of a famous band. I just don't remember what it was. I almost want to say it's like Dream Theater or something like that, but I could be wrong. I don't want to like put misinformation out there.
I can't name a single Dream Theater song, and I don't really remember what they do, but I'm going to go on the record saying that they suck.
That's so crazy because they wrote your theme, your opening theme.
They didn't do that, and you know it. Don't lie to people. You can lie to me, it's fine, but don't lie to the people. Don't do
right. That. I think the only thing that people are really talking about when it comes to Tokyo Mirage Sessions are, one, will there be a collector's edition, which there hasn't been anything announced. Mm-hmm. Surprisingly, it's going to be one of the rare, I don't know what they call it, universal drops where it releases everywhere all on the same day. So regardless if you're a weeb in Japan or a weeb in Europe, you can buy the game.
Those Japanese weebs.
There's a what do you call it?
Fetishizing their own culture.
What do you call anime? Oh, otaku, I guess would be the
the word that's for them.
Oh, sorry, I'm not a weeb, so I wouldn't know.
So what's the second question? Fuck you.
Oh,
will it be censored?
Yeah, exactly. Because
what part will be censored specifically about which character?
It's Treehouse. It's going to be a nightmare.
Yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot of weird things. Know? There's a lot of weird things that get censored. Some things matter.
Characters specifically.
Some things matter, and some of the censorship doesn't matter, in my opinion. Some of the weird, So one of the things that happens is the gravure. Is it pronounced gravure? I'd actually never. Yeah, gravure.
That's not a real word. They just made it up.
But that level
they
gets changed.
Gravy and they just fucked it up.
It's like a Playboy kind of thing, I guess.
Yeah, but they change it, which, funny enough, that outfit that we got in the West forgot her name, but for Tsubasa, like the Japanese fans love that outfit because it's like cool, I guess, to them. But they changed it from what it was before, which was like a sexy outfit. That whole dungeon gets changed because of the censorship. And that's one of the things that I guess I could take or leave in terms of the censorship. Another part of it was the weird changes to anatomy. Like breast lines were covered up by extending the clothes to be bras or whatever. And the infamous thing was vagina bones. Does everyone know about vagina bones?
Yeah.
Glib, can you explain vagina bones?
I know all about female
anatomy. They explain that in class.
I'm quite the expert.
I think you're the expert of vagina bones, Glib. Can you please?
Glib, you gotta talk.
What does it just say, man? Like, what's it called? Treehouse. They just doing anything they did anything they could just to anything sexual. Like that wasn't really sexual. It was just her a body. It wasn't even. I don't even know, man.
I mean, it was sexualized, but it wasn't inherently sexual. Yeah, so
yeah, like
they're very inconsistent.
Yeah,
I wouldn't. That part itself wasn't really sexual like that. At that point, they should have just changed the outfit itself, not changed her anatomy. Like what?
Yeah. They shouldn't have covered up those vagina bones. That's wrong.
But that was like a major point of contention back in the day, and that's really funny to me because even the phrase itself, "vagina bones."
The worst one was that wedding dress. It looks more.
Oh yeah. So like the dumbest part about that is they made like a more like I guess what whoever designers or whatever were trying to like cover it up. They're trying to make it more sensible, and like. The wedding dress is like a morph suit. It's like it goes all the way up to her fingers. Because if you like the whole like cute idea behind those kind of like old school wedding dresses is it's like a dress and it's cut off at the shoulders, and then you have like gloves that go from your hands to your elbow, right?
Yeah.
But in this version, they like cover up as much skin as possible, so it's like a full suit. You put on this dress and you put in sleeves, like your arms through them, and you're just covered in cloth. It makes no sense.
Like she's wearing latex with a lacy dress.
Yeah. But it's like a lace texture on it. It's like, what is this? Why would you do this?
If anything, it's more like fetishized because it's like, what? Like, what wedding are you going to? That's not a wedding dress. But
yeah, it's a morph suit.
But what people noticed from the trailer for the port is that some of the censorship that was only in the West was included. One of the infamous things being this smog that covers one of the boss battles, because I guess she's a very chesty character. They cover her up with smog, and people picked up on that, and now everyone's wondering whether or not there's going to be a censorship across the board because it's going to be a release that's going to go for like all regions all on the same day, or will there be some sort of weird halfway point where some of the censorship will still be present and some of it won't be. Conflicting sources are saying that there's going to be censorship, but then other people are saying there's not going to be any at all. And those people are all, leakers. So I wouldn't trust any of that at all.
Right. Yeah.
But if you're interested in finding a very good Switch game, because there's actually 0 good Switch games right now, Cooking Raw Sessions will come out in January.
I hope they don't. I hope they uncensor the dungeon, the second one, because it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense the way it is. Like you have Thardra come in and she makes comments about the pictures that are all lining up and they all look normal. You're like, why is Thardra giggling over this? Because Thardra's kind of a perv.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't know Fire Emblem too well.
Oh, okay, yeah. So it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. The joke.
She's the one that has porn made of her everywhere.
Yeah.
Is she the
weird type character?
Is she the weird chesty girl that's in Fates? The one that's
Awakening.
Oh, I don't remember Awakening.
The dark mage. With she just wears tights and.
Oh, okay, yeah. She's like,
I remember. She's like tights.
She's obsessed with Robin.
No, it's just Fire Emblem Fates was like such a forgettable game. Same thing with Awakening. They're both kind of like that for me. Echoes stood out a lot because it had like actual characters and the plot was more concise.
Oh, that's just your opinion, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems like it'll be okay. I think it's definitely going to be censored though, but there's no way to know until they say something.
Yeah, my only concern is exactly what you brought up. I just do not want that wedding dress. Please, Atlas, Nintendo, Sega, like God.
Yeah. You can like make a more sensible wedding dress without making it look moronic. It's not that hard.
And censor the second dungeon too. Everything else I don't care about.
Yeah, I don't care about the DLC. I wouldn't buy that anyways, to be honest.
I don't care about most of the outfit changes either, other than the ugly ones.
Yeah. But the top of the list for me is the wedding dress. If it could just not exist, because the original wedding dress is like zero sex. I've never looked at a wedding dress and go, wow, that's a sexy dress. I've always looked at a wedding dress and go, oh, you're getting married. You know, it's very.
Damn,
like,
that sucks.
They created their own sexualization by censoring it, which is really funny.
Well,
Speaking of censoring, Catherine is out. Have any of you guys played Catherine Full Body yet?
No, I've seen some little bits and pieces though.
I haven't even played the first one yet. I'm working on it though.
Wow.
I'm seeing the Vine on Steam, but I haven't done it yet. That's the only priority for me right now.
You're not even at that step. You haven't even gotten it?
No.
Come on, man.
Okay, that's like your third strike.
I'm waiting for a sale, man.
Or do you have
there were sales. There are many sales.
I'm waiting for the next one.
All right.
What?
It's fine. I guess. One of the things about Catherine, which is why I bring up the censorship, is that Catherine Full Body does a really unusual thing where it has this jukebox that you can play music when you're doing the part of the story where you can talk to all the people who are in the bar called the Stray Sheep. Most of the characters that appear in that bar are either also suffering from the same nightmare as the protagonist. Actually, should I explain the story because Neb has never heard of it?
I've played like several levels of it, so I understand the concept. Yes.
So,
but for the folks at home, you can, if you like, you can give a little. Right. Yeah, maybe don't do spoilers, but give the basic premise.
Oh, I'm not gonna tell the whole plot. I haven't even finished the game yet. I'm on the 6th day. So just be careful, Glib, because this is very mature content, and I know that you're the youngest guy here.
Wow.
So the story essentially is you're playing the character Vincent. Forgot his last name. Price. And he's like this guy in the middle of nowhere in the Midwest, I guess, or something, some Western country.
He's the last man on Earth,
and he's kind of this guy who's stuck where he is. He's 32 years old, and he's in this long-standing relationship with this female named Catherine, who's about the same age. And they're at this impasse where Catherine is looking towards the future, wanting to have kids and settle down because she's 32. And Vincent...
Which is basically like 2 years from death in Japan, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, actually, but since this takes place in the West somewhere, they're not Japanese, even though they go to sushi exclusively. It's super dumb. But whatever.
Yeah.
But the point is...
Very American.
And okay, sorry, another sidebar that I thought was hilarious is that this is supposed to be like America or the West, and yet their bar has like any Japanese drink you want, like sake or I don't know if soju is Japanese. No, it's Korean or something.
No, it's Korean. It's also garbage. Soju.
Soju sucks, dude. Oh
yeah, soju's garbage.
But
just wash your windows with it. You don't need to drink it.
But that guy he gets like all these Catherine's pretty direct in what she wants. She wants to have kids and get married. And Vincent freaks out. He starts to drink at the bar. He has a one-night stand with this girl. And then it triggers this series of events where he's having these nightmares where if he dies in the nightmare, he dies in real life. And everyone in that general area is suffering from the dream, or that's presumably what's happening. The game is a puzzle game that's very difficult for me because my brain is kind of small. But like, it's a fun game because it does this thing that I guess the Hoshino Persona games do, where it juxtaposes the gameplay with like this slice of life like thing. You can talk to all the people in the bar. You can choose to drink as much as you want, which happens in Persona 5, I guess. No, doesn't.
What?
I don't know why I said that.
You mean 3?
3, yes, but okay.
All right, you're losing the track. Let's wrap this up.
So this game is the remaster or re-release of the game. It features a whole new Catherine character because the person you cheat on Catherine with is also named Catherine, and
Catherine
you meet another.
C is the main bitch, and the side bitch is Catherine with a K, who is a hoe.
Other way around.
Oh, other way around. Yeah.
And the game is named after the one that you cheat on Catherine with. They introduced this new Catherine with a Q. And the way she's introduced is that Vincent helps her. this game I would say is out of all the re-releases that Alice has done so far, it's actually my favorite. I've always kind of liked Catherine a lot, just because it's one of the games that's more mature in its tone and everything. And even though I pretty much hate all the characters except Erica and Toby because their personalities, Erica and Toby being, they're actually kind of good people. Everyone else is pretty much like a scumbag. Well, actually, Catherine's a good person too. Catherine with a K. Everyone else is kind of bad. But the way that they present the characters in Full Body, at least Catherine with a K and Vincent, they add a lot more context to their relationship. So they do a lot of these like these extra cutscenes that explain more about who they are. Because in the original game, you just kind of get these texts from Catherine, or both basically those two Catherines, and you can choose how to respond, and that'll dictate which ending you get essentially. But since Catherine with the K's texts are all pretty bossy and stuff, you just kind of assume that she's like annoying and that Vincent is right to be unsure about how to respond. But then when you get the context of their relationship through the backstories then it really makes the moral aspect of the game a lot more complicated, which is better, I think, because this game is supposed to be about morals. And it does a lot of quality of life changes where you can see where people failed in the dungeon element, and that'll help you navigate a dungeon, because if you see a lot of dead spirits in one area, you'll be like, okay, well, people are going to die here, so I should be very careful here.
Yeah, like sort of like in a Mario. Remember Mario Maker? They would like.
I've never played
when
that
you died.
game.
Oh, okay, whatever. Well, then when you died, they would show like where everyone else died in a similar area.
Oh. And they also do like other cool little things. You get to see what everyone votes for, because after you finish each section of the dungeon, you'll get asked a question. The question also helps change your moral meter, but also you get to see what everyone else answered. And I'm aware of which ones lead to what. I've been basically locking myself into one of the newer endings, and I think it's really funny that everyone else who plays this game is a liar, or they're like 12 years old, because some of the questions that they ask are questions that are pretty I don't know. One of the questions is like, has someone of the opposite sex ever lied to you? And you can put yes or no, and it's like, if in terms of like, regardless of the context, the answer is yes, right? Can we all agree that we've been lied to by the opposite sex at least once?
Never.
Oh, I've never done that in my life. Absolutely not.
No, definitely not. No one would ever lie to me. Who would do
course
that?
not.
My guy.
No, I only tell them the truth.
This is the last episode of the podcast. I quit after this one because of you guys. The point is, there's like questions like that, and I'm just like, okay, well, the obvious answer is yes. Like someone's lied to me before. And then people will always like put whatever the most virtuous answer is. And I think that's really interesting, considering that in general, the fan base is skewed towards Catherine with a C. And I'm like, okay, well, first of all, she has the dumbest hair that I've ever seen. Like, I don't like that drill hairstyle, but her drills are like the worst of the drills that I've ever seen. She looks like she's balding, like drill balding. I don't know.
Damn.
Well, she's the most iconic character of the bunch, though. She's almost the mascot.
Yeah, she is. I did read. Like,
we have to revisit our tier list now.
Yeah, no. Well, if she's the mascot for Catherine, then she's lower than Morgana.
Damn.
Because no. So now that we know the story, the thing I wanted to talk about is that while you're playing the game, you unlock songs for the jukebox that you can then listen to while you're doing whatever in the bar aspect of the game. The weird thing that they decided to do is they basically removed all the Shin Megami Tensei music. The only Shin Megami Tensei song that I have so far is from Shin Megami Tensei Persona 3, which is what, I don't know why they titled it that for the English release.
That's pretty funny.
It's
you start reading, you're like, yes, and you get to the end, you're like, fuck.
Yeah, and it also has some of the RE Project Fantasies. It has the 2 tracks from RE Project Fantasy. I don't remember how to unlock these songs, but I think that through playing Babel or Super Rapunzel. Rapunzel was this arcade game you could play in the bar, which was literally just the game that you play when you're not in the bar, but for some reason you could play it in the bar too. they revamped it a bit, and now it's called Super Rapunzel. And I believe that those two things unlock more songs. Okay. No Shin Megami Tensei songs though, and it's weird because it's a Blu-ray disc, so you would think that they just add music instead of subtract music, or sell the music as DLC.
Yeah, that's very strange. I mean, I wouldn't imagine they would want to sell it as DLC because I feel like that's such a minor part of the game that no one would want to spend extra money on that. That's so weird. But it doesn't make any sense to why they'd remove any of the music pending any kind of copyright issue, which I don't think they would experience because it's them. They own that property.
Yeah, and it's all Meguro music. All the music that's in there is stuff that he's worked on. Interesting for me, anyways, is that Catherine's music is, if I was going to compare it to any other game that he's done, it's most like Strange Journey, which means it's the best music, or the second best music he's done so far.
Funny idea that the relationship drama one is the exact same as the Hell World in the North Pole game.
Because relationships are hell.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
social
one
commentary.
track sounds like Strange Journey, the other one sounds like Nocturne.
Yeah, that's actually fair.
What was the one track you missed the most that got removed? Like, did they have Fierce Battle that you could play the entire time while you're trying to talk to people? It just blasts the entire time.
I'll be honest, I literally never use any of this. I never use a jukebox because I thought it was dumb, because that part of the game is pretty short. I've only been in the bar a lot now because they added a couple new characters that I didn't know were like new until I was like, wait, I've never seen the sheep before. And then most of the people that you see in the sheep world are also people who go to the bar.
Yes.
I would say, so these are some of the songs they removed. Title Loop 2 from Nocturne, the most iconic title loop.
Yeah.
Hunting from DDS. So
I like that one.
Yeah, that's actually a really good song. The staff credits from Nocturne. Amaravati from DDS. Mad Mart from DDS. Battle for Survival. They basically deleted all the DDS songs because most of it was DDS. Muladhara and Inherit Will are also gone. And World Map, which is my favorite Nocturne song. I'm not even memeing. That's like my favorite. Well, I think is it called World Map? Large World Map?
I don't know. My favorite one is Last Area, the one from the tower, the top floor.
Yeah, that's a good one too. Okay, and since I'm looking at the Jukebox songs, that's how I suddenly know everything. You unlock them from doing specific things, like getting specific endings. You unlock them from doing different modes or getting the gold. So when you do each puzzle, you get ranked based on how you do. I always get like bronze because like I suck at this game. But if you actually are not, small brained, you can get different songs. And you can also do it by listening to all the trivia. So as you drink, you can choose to drink 3 times a day, and that'll affect how fast Vincent moves in the dream, which is really a weird mechanic, but it exists. But each time you drink something, the main guy will tell you a piece of trivia about the thing you're drinking, and he has a bunch of different ones for sake, cocktails, beer, and whiskey, I believe. So it's kind of interesting. I learned a lot about wine, which is the new one.
You can like simulate alcoholism.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
And I also know about wine now, so I could tell you. Do you know the difference between red and white wine, Neb?
Yeah, one is absolute garbage swill, and the other is red.
So red is because they use the whole grape versus using the juice, which is what makes the white wine white, and that's why red is bitter and white is sweet.
That makes sense. Yeah, you get the pectin probably from the whole fruit. Makes it more bitter.
Sure. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, wine is usually bad. Red is good though.
I know some of those words.
But so far, like I haven't really seen. So I guess one of the things that people were concerned about with Catherine was the interactions between everyone and Erica and the new ending. Haven't gotten the new endings so I don't know or have any opinions about it. But I will say that the Erica stuff is pretty much the same as it was in the original. So if you thought that was a negative representation of a transgender character, then sorry, I guess. Because I don't think they haven't really changed anything in a way that's significant or meaningful in that regard.
Right. Yeah, I remember hearing a lot about that, and it seemed like a big nothing that everyone's upset about.
I mean, I've been like...
They changed to one thing.
Yeah.
That Vincent and her get an argument over, but other than that...
Oh, I thought they also like slightly changed one of the endings to make people happy or something. Like the wording of one of them, not the actual material of it, just like the wording.
They changed the credits for sure. That's one thing I could.
That might have been what I'm thinking of. Yeah, it was some like very tiny change that like upset everyone. It's like, okay,
yeah. And initially, I was kind of like on the fence about why people would be upset, but then again, if you think about games and you think about Atlas in particular, Atlas is probably one of the only like companies that actually attempts to cover like gender identity at all in games. So I can see that being upsetting when one of the only sources of like seeing yourself represented, it's like done in this way, or like the Persona 5 gay guys that hit on you.
Excuse me. I'll have you know they put ladies in Call of Duty. So how about
people get mad about that though, right?
Slide on your roll. Yeah, people get mad at everything. Of course they did. Of course they did. People probably got mad that there was a new Call of Duty, as if that's not going to happen every year.
Yeah, even if there was some aspects that might not be that great, it's still nice to see. I like Erica as a character. I might not like how all the characters treat her, but I do like her as a character.
Right.
Yeah, I think Erica is well written, and I actually think that the rest of them are well written too, in the way that they treat Erica, because they're all scumbags, and
yeah, they all do terrible things.
Yeah, except Toby. He's like, but then he's like the glib of that group. So
Toby's just young. Okay, he's dumb. He's a dumb kid, but he's
just like glib. So
wow.
I'm just thinking if you're awake, glib, because I'm not glib.
Fight.
I know.
What was I just saying, man? I haven't played any of this stuff, bro.
Well,
I haven't played Catherine either.
Yeah, I played like an hour of it or something.
I don't have a PlayStation.
Although I guess about the jukebox stuff. I told you last week I don't listen to music.
Oh yeah. well, Spider,
it's
you
my
can buy
failing memory.
You can buy the Persona 5 Pro, and you'll have a PlayStation, and then you can play Catherine.
I might not have a house if I buy that.
Okay,
we all have to make sacrifices.
But I gotta say though that the game is good. I like the way it's written. I like the way the characters are handled, because the people who do the bad things are bad people, in my opinion. Vincent, it reminds me of Nakajima, and I say that because they're both horrible people who I only wish.
He was an incel. Vincent gets laid. Very different.
Vincent's an idiot. Nakajima is just
Vincent's
complete scum.
Nakajima is a total incel.
I would give them both the cattle gun like to the head, like so they can both go.
Really up the ante there.
The point is that I like the way that the characters are written, because they feel like they're real, and you only really get that with a couple of Mega 10 games like Digital Devil Saga. I feel a lot of the characters are real, or at least based on real people. I don't know how much of it is because of Tadashi Satomi, or how much of it is based on Yuga Dai's work. And then Persona 2, also, a lot of the characters feel kind of real to me. And you don't really get that anywhere else. You get glimmers of it everywhere. So for Catherine to have such a like believable cast, even if they're all bad people besides Erica and Toby, that's better to me than having a bunch of like weird pastiches or weird just like flat characters. Yeah. Like The Boys. If you guys have read that comic, it's
whoa.
Don't you say anything.
I might watch this show too. We'll see how it goes though.
You should watch the show. It's pretty good.
It's a good show.
Mr. Robot.
Oh, I haven't watched Mr. Robot.
Yeah, that's a good show. I mean, it's Rami Malek, does he have brain problems in real life? Because he always does these roles where he acts like a really weird guy.
He's probably just a method actor or something.
Yeah, I guess so. He's great. I
we
like
just-
him, but he just, I don't know, something about him is, he's watching that role and you're like, man, this guy is troubled.
Yes.
Anyways,
Yeah.
next on
Anyway,
the list.
well, Catherine's also getting a concert. That's cool. I hope it
Oh.
sells out because Catherine music, while to me not the best Hashina work, that's Strange Journey. It's cool because it's close to Strange Journey in style and quality.
A lot of chanting.
What?
So there's a lot of chanting, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of chanting, especially when you're in the bar.
Doom-inducing percussion. Dun, dun, dun.
So this is like a weird sidebar, but I used to like watch these, or I guess listen to YouTubers who would basically read creepypastas. Like a weird time in my life where I would do that.
This is a tough confession you're making right now. I don't know if I can support you on this one.
I know, but here's where it connects. There's this one song you hear that's like a creepyish song whenever Vincent goes to the confession box to be asked the question that you have to answer.
Yeah. And
it barely clicked when I started playing Full Body that song is the song that I keep hearing in like all of those creepypastas that I used to listen to. And I'm like, whoa.
Hold on. These are the exact same song? Did one of them steal from the other? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying that like the people that would do these creepypastas would use like royalty-free music from this one particular YouTuber who had that. They'd also use what's it called? Gymnopedie by Satie, that composer. And then they would just steal music. And one of the songs that they would steal from is Catherine, which I thought was really weird because like I never really thought of how the music was creepy until I heard it in context, and it clicked for me that that's the same song they'd use for these creepypasta readings.
That's pretty humorous, but also very weird.
Yeah. So don't listen to creepypasta readings if you don't like the score for Catherine. But you can also go to Japan and buy a ticket to the Japanese Catherine concert because it's probably never going to get recorded, and you'll never hear it any other way otherwise.
Is it a symphony one?
Is it a who?
Symphony? Or is it
it's a symphony. Jagmo. That's what.
Yeah. So
Japanese.
There will definitely be no recording then.
Yeah, because that's the people that have been doing the Shin Megami Tensei ones, the Japanese game music orchestra.
Yeah.
Wait, if it's called Jagmo, because JA is Japan. Okay. And since there's a lot of like jazz-ish music, I guess that's what they'll have. It's going to be a large jazz orchestra with a big band. I don't know. Is that in reference to the genre?
Amazing.
And
I can't fly.
And yeah, well, you can always just get on a boat. Like, do they have boats from America to Japan?
No.
Yeah, you get an old steamboat.
So
get someone to pay for your portage.
Well, here's the thing, Spider. You have until November 24th because that's when the concert is. Just start saving up.
Could be an indentured servant.